Whoa. Background battles. Choose your favorite. This was when I was living at the Screamer house with Celine, Janet, and Pokey during COVID. This was crazy. This was like the half end of the Among Us era. Wow. They had the Garbanzo Bean house. Yeah, that was an era. Wait, is this same photo twice? Oh no, I skipped one. This is my favorite background that I've ever had. This is when I lived in Malibu with my ex that we were so on and off at the time that I decided to stop talking about my relationships because of him. And luckily I did, because bro moved back in with me and I find out that he's an anti-vaxxer, and then we both get COVID. After I had my first vaccine, I still needed one more. I got sick because of him. Oh my God. It was the freaking worst. Ugh. I'll save it for the podcast. But yeah, it was like, ugh. It's like at that point, it's like I don't even want to. I don't want to talk about relationships anymore. Like, I don't want to. Like it was so awful. Yeah. Podcast when? once we're done decorating it. It's taking a while though. But yeah, I ended up renting a place in Malibu so that, you know, the conditions would be met for him, because I was so in love. So fucking crazy. And it just like it was not fixing anything. It was not fixing anything. This is the same house, but a different room. Yeah, this was the master. This was like one of the smaller rooms. Conditions. I feel like now is not the right time to elaborate on that kind of stuff, but let's just say every time we lived together, there was always a reason why he would move out before the lease was over. And then we would break up. And then when we were apart, we would do really well. And then we'd get back together. And then we'd move back in together. And then something bad would happen. And then we would break up. And then he would move away. And then we would be good again. And then we would get back together. And then we'd break up, move back in together. And that was on and off for 5 years. Yeah, it's like there's just, it was so hard to get this relationship to work. It was so difficult. Now the cycle, yeah, it was a loop. It was a loop. Whew. Learned a lot. Welcome to the pod. No. There's so much. There's so much I'm excited to talk about in the future. But now is not the time. Now is not the time. So anyways, could you have done better? Oh, absolutely. The thing that, now I want to talk about it. The thing that really fucked up everything was that I worked a lot. I love to work. I'm a Capricorn. I love grinding, and I prioritize work. I also used work as an escape a lot. And I think our priorities were never aligned. It was also extra rough because like what I had, he wanted. You know what I mean? It was so hard. Yeah, he wanted like he wanted things from like a girlfriend that I couldn't really provide, like, you know, cooking every night. Stuff like that. Yeah, it was hard. It was like hard because it's like I either had to like sacrifice my career in some ways to make it work. Um, yeah, it was rough. But at the end of the day, we just were not compatible. We were not compatible. I think because like I think another thing to remember is that we started dating when I was a small streamer. Like neither of us expected my career to happen the way that it did. You know what I mean? And it was also rough because he was the last boyfriend to meet my dad before my dad died. So I think there's like that thing where you invest a lot of time into something and you want it to work really badly because like you know how it was before things changed. Like it was great before my dad got cancer and before my career popped off. But then at that point it's like, oh, I have something really good happening for me. I can't sacrifice that. You know? We just were not compatible. I was in love though. I was smitten. So in love. That's why I tried really hard to make it work all the time. But it just doesn't work, especially when like what he wanted the most was what I had. And there's like resentment, there's, jealousy, there's like for the podcast. I know, you're right. God. It definitely got to the point where like there were some things that I didn't even want to mention were happening because I was worried it was going to hurt him. You know? Oof. Back to background battle. This was 2 years ago with Saikuno, Yvonne, Leslie, and Myung at that house. This is a year after the Malibu house. Yeah. Time is flying. Look, a spider. This is when I started watching you. Really? Here? Oh my God. Wow. Wow, the room looked so good before the plants died. I tried. Okay, guys, I did. I tried so hard to save them. They died. But the one in the bathroom is thriving, okay? They are. Oh, I fucked up so bad. The plants did die. I really did try to save them. I bought a watering can and everything. I couldn't do it. It was terrible. I fucked up. Yeah, look at Mika with his donut when he had the other hot spot. Wait, you're missing more setups. There was a time before this. Before this, the Screamer house, I lived at an apartment with my ex again, who also left early again because there was a lot of noise from the neighbors and Mika's claws, the pit patters. There was just so many conditions, which is why I got the Malibu house later on when we got back together. Is it all tying together? But yeah, Selena ended up moving into that house, and then we together moved in with Pokey and Janet here. And then before that house or that apartment, I was living in Texas with Alexia Ray, where my ex was living with Trainwrecks, Mitch Jones, and Cloaksy. Cloaksy was dating Alexia. I was living with Alexia in Texas. And then before that, I was living with my ex at a different place in California. And then before that, I was living at the Archon house in Las Vegas. The first esports team I joined was a Hearthstone team. Before that, I was living in California again with my ex. Or was I think I was in Washington. And then I think before that, I was living in Washington with my dad. No, my dad got cancer after Las Vegas. Oh my God, Oh my God, I skipped the 100 Thieves house. Oh my God. Bro, I need to write down my life. I've moved so much. The 100 Thieves house was... I had the office space while I was living at the apartment before this house. There was an office space at the second 100 Thieves house. And then before that, I definitely lived at the 100 Thieves, the first 100 Thieves content house. But I think I lived there when my ex and I broke up again, and he was living at our previous place. So we were doing long distance again. After we broke up, we got back together. We always got back together after we moved apart. It was... Oh my God. Thinking about it is so insane to me. It's so insane to me. It's so crazy. Oh my God. Okay, bro. It is insane. Insane. So insane. Holy shit. How many times you broke up? We broke up every single year for 5 years. You want to know another time we broke up? The day before I moved back to Washington to take care of my dad when he had cancer. Yeah, that was fucking traumatic. Yeah. Literally the day before. I had to drive from California back to Washington to go take care of my dying dad while also being freshly dumped. Yeah. Oh God. You know when you're like in love and you're in your 20s, and you just like, you feel like you could fix it, but you really can't. But you try, but like you can't, kind of thing. Anyways. And then before that, I was living at my dad's condo, his apartment condo thing. There was a span of 6 months where I was taking care of him. It was in an apartment. I was still streaming at the time. That was after California. Everything's all mixed up. Anyways, it started with my loft in my hometown. I've moved a lot since I've started streaming. A lot. Girl, the podcast. Bitch, you think that was everything I had to say? Like, I'm literally, this is like not even a crumb. Okay, don't worry. Everything is saved for the podcast. Y'all, you think I've mentioned anything? Oh, bitch, just wait. All right. I think it was a learning experience for both of us. I don't want to hate anybody in my life. I just like to think that we were not compatible. I like to think that also I do feel like age plays an important role. Like, I feel like your early 20s, you're still like growing up. Things are happening. People don't know what they want. Oh God. I think also like people just like having access to the internet and like they compare themselves to people on the internet especially when they're younger, and also compare like what they could want or what they could have. It's just the 20s are kind of rough. Yeah, anyways, background battle, yeah. Oh my god, I love the feet. They're so cute. Are you happy now, Auntie? I am definitely the happiest I have ever been. I am very content. I feel like I am very much in control of my life now, right? Like, I will never, ever be mistreated by a man again. I can always say no. I will never feel pressured to do anything or whatever. I'm not pressured to do anything that I don't want to do, right? And I definitely get what I deserve. I know what I deserve. No more conditions. No more conditions. And I definitely, like, I know what I want, and I prioritize the right things. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely know how to balance life. Well, content, I'm working on it. Balancing content is definitely, you know, I'm still working on that, but I definitely know how to balance a lot better now. I mean, but there's always room for improvement. I mean, I'm still young. No matter how old you are, there's always things that you can improve on. There's always things that you can do to be a better person. And I think a lot of that stems from at least learning from your past. Yeah. You never stop learning. No, it's true. You never stop learning. I mean, and that's okay. I think it's sure if my relationships don't work out in the future or if something bad happens, it's okay. It's at the point where it's like, I feel like I've experienced so much in my past relationships where I can take bad things that happen, be like, okay, well, it's time to break up and it's time to move on. Like, I feel like I'm at the point where back then I would be so in love where when I would get dumped or cheated on, I would violently feel ill. I would feel physically sick and starve and sob every single day, like depressed. I felt like I would lose everything when I lost like my partner. But I feel like now it's just, I feel like I've just learned so much from back then. Like if I were to get cheated on now, or if I were to get dumped now, I can say like, okay, we're not going to work out, and that's okay. And it's okay. It's okay for things not to work out. Because I do feel like this is why I'm like icked by marriage. Because I feel like people are constantly growing and changing, and people's wants and needs are constantly growing and changing. Like people truly do change in time. And so it is difficult to make relationships work when it's a two-way street. Not even just relationships, but like friendships, family relationships. You know, so we just have to accept that life goes on and it's okay. Family is chaos right now. Yeah, it happens. It happens. People transition. Yeah, it does. Tides change. Oh my god. The tides change as well. Sad. Oh, when everything went to shit. Can't force someone to be someone else. Yeah. You can't. I needed this lesson right now. Oh my god, I have so many lessons to give. Why are you crying in the Mr. Beast trailer? You'll see. Bro, you'll actually see. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like some Raymond came out in the Mr. Beast video. You guys will see, okay? I went through some mental warfare. Do you still believe in love? Oh yeah! What? Oh, absolutely. Oh my god. Okay, so I feel like you can definitely love more than one person. Like, whether it's friends, family, in relationships. You can definitely find someone that's more compatible with you. I just feel the way that I look at it is that there's a spectrum. There's a spectrum of personalities, people, just a variety of traits and qualities that somebody can have or work towards or lose, right? And it's just, you're going to be compatible with a ton of different people. It's a matter of how compatible you are with that individual person and how you guys work with each other, you know? I don't know. I feel like it's just, I don't know. It's like a trial and error. You just got to like meet the right person that fits for you, really. Is Ray bi? No, I am definitely not. Trust me. I've tried. I wish I was attracted to women. I am not. No, okay, I didn't actually try it. No, I've never hooked up with a girl. But I've just never like, I've never been like in my head like, ooh, yeah, I want to hook up with a girl. You know what I mean? Caught? No, bro. I feel like at this point, I would be open about that. What do you mean you tried? Like, I've tried to think about it. Like, am I gay? I've tried to like think about it. Like, what it would be like to like date a girl or like you be bi. But it's, I'm just so straight. I'm too straight. I'm too straight. We'll save some experiences for the podcast. Oh yeah, we'll save it for the podcast. Save it for the podcast. Save it for the podcast.